Hello everyone, am I audible to anyone? Am I audible to anyone? Please comment. Yeah. Hi. So here we go. So today is World Heritage Day. So we'll start with the word heritage and what does it mean? Heritage could be of any type, a tangible or a non-tangible heritage. A tangible heritage means a building, a book, a photograph. A non-tangible could be poetry uh, or a place like Sangam, a Chardham Yatra that is also heritage. So we need to, on this World Heritage Day, we need to take a pledge that we should be more sensitive towards heritage. So I'll start the presentation. These days, all the cities are in the rat race of development. Every city wants a multiplex, a PVR in its vicinity, but they don't care about the heritage. If the cities lose their heritage, then certainly the city will lose their character. Say about after 15 years, every city will be having malls and big colleges and lavish gardens, but the character that used to define the city will be lost. Today, I'll be focusing on the tangible heritage of Allahabad, more precisely on the government houses at Allahabad, whether we were able to preserve the culture or not. Before that, we can talk about the community contribution that must be there. With community contribution, I mean that every individual should get up and reach out the administration, ask them what are they actually doing for the preservation. Like in many cities these days, the smart city campaign is going on. So cities like Aurangabad, Kanpur, Jabalpur, they have reached out to the administration and given them a proposal to safeguard the heritage. Many motivational projects, inspirational projects have been completed till now. We'll talk about it sometime later. So I'll start with the presentation on Government House. Like I told you, the community goals. Allahabad has always been an important site. The word Prayag found its mention in many of the Hindu scriptures. It was a very important prime dham, and one can find its relevance through many sites. The most important being the Sangam and the Bhardwaj ashram. And then coming to the Mughal era, the city of Allahabad was laid down by Akbar, and it was formerly known as Allahabad. During Akbar's reign, he crossed this area many times and found it that it is very strategic. The uh, the Doab area, the river navigation also proved to its benefit. And finally, after 1750, when Allahabad was handed over to the British, many major reforms kept on taking place in the city. And in fact, it was the Allahabad was the capital of ceded regions.
From 1833 to 1835.
Following that, the capital was shifted to Agra. Allahabad had an really important involvement in the during the uprising of 1857. The movement was led by the Maulvi Liaquat Ali. This uprising of 1857 was crushed by British regiment person.
Colonel Neil, also known as Butcher of Allahabad.
he ordered a major massacre. The authorities did not care whether a person was actively involved in the revolution or not. They were just booked under certain charges, and public execution was done. After this, Queen's proclamation was read out. Lord Canning arrived Allahabad, and Queen's proclamation was read out on 1st of November 1858. This transferred the power from the East India Company to the Queen's Crown. After this, the Allahabad became the capital of Northwest provinces. For this, a number of government institutions had to be established in order to function correctly. Primarily, the government house has to be established. Since there was no to build a new structure, the existing Lauder Castle, currently known as Darbhanga Castle, near the south cant of the city, was chosen. Lord Canning came to Allahabad, stayed over there, and soon after, Lady Canning also joined him in August 1888. Although they stayed in Allahabad just for a few months until January 1859, their stay has been properly documented. During this time, the administration focused on building a new city, a new cant with all the offices, and a railway line was chosen as the uh, dividing line between the old city, the Indians, and the Britishers. On one side of the railway line, we had the old city. Here you can see three pictures. One is a Shivalaya in Chowk area. This particular building, building is the Chowk Masjid. This is the Chowk Church, and this, as you can see, is the Khusro Bagh. And on the other side of the railway line, they made colonial structures according to their whims and fancies. All these structures came a little later, but I'm just showing you their photographs. This is the sketch of Mayor Central College, also known as the Science Faculty of University of Allahabad. A sketch made by William Emerson, the architect. This is the public library. This is the Roman Catholic Church, St. Joseph's Cathedral, you know it. And this particular building is the Swaraj Bhavan. Swaraj Bhavan has a very interesting, if you ever get a chance, do go through it. It was actually built for uh, as a as a gift to an Indian Muslim who supported the Britishers during the revolution. Ironically, it was later purchased by Motilal Nehru and was a center point for the revolution. So Lord Canning came and stayed over in this building. This building still exists, but many people can hardly identify it. This building was very close to, like I mentioned, was very close to South Cant. At that time, there were three major armed forces depots. One was the South Cant, which included the current medical college area, the Company Bagh area, and the other cant was Old Cant, which still exists, and the Fort Battery. This South Cant, although played an important role during the 1857 from the Britishers' end, but was a temporary one and was later removed. Here you can see a few pictures of Lady Canning and their lifestyle. It has often been said that although the size of the property was a little smaller than the major government houses in Britain, but it had lavish gardens, and it has been documented by photographs and paintings. This particular painting was painted by Lady Canning herself. So while the Britishers were stabilizing the government, uh, active work was being done by British engineers to establish offices. This is an old Ahmedabad. Here you can see the two major roads: Canning Road, which is now known as MG Marg, and the Queen's Road, which is known as the Sarojini Naidu Marg. And on their intersection, one can see the Queen's Road started with the railway station, was lined up with various offices, the secretariat, government press, and was supposed to end with a government house. However, due to paucity of funds, that government house could never be made. Over here, you can see this particular building. This is the current police headquarters. It was built as High Court, but when the capacity became an issue for the High Court, a new building was completed, and this building was converted to a police headquarters. This is police headquarters. This is the Revenue Board office. After that, the the administration became a little, and they started looking out for a better building for a government house. This building, I will try to zoom in. This is the current medical college building. This was chosen according to one of the theories mentioned in the Gazetteer of 1909. Uh, this central block was the mess of the 107th Regiment of South Cantonment. It was acquired, and then these left and right wings were constructed. This building, I would say, is certainly one of the magnificent buildings in the whole of the province, and you can say it was compared to one of the to the buildings present in Britain. In fact, Lady Dufferin, in one of her memoirs, wrote that it is a beautiful building and a very interesting one. So, coming this from Lady Dufferin was a huge compliment. Look, you can look at the facade, the gardens. You can spot a buggy over here and the British flag. During the same time, many discussions were being conducted to establish a university and a medical college in Allahabad. So, Mayor Central College, the Vizianagaram Hall and Dome, that particular complex used to be the Mayor Central College. It acted as a seat for the University of Allahabad. The medical college discussion sadly came to an end, but Mayor Central College discussion was followed up and implemented, and this led to the establishment of the university campus was very tactfully placed so that the university grounds could be an extension to the Alfred Park and then to the government house. And it has a very important link to the old government house which I showed you previously. In this old map, you can see the new government house over here, close by the Darbhanga Castle, the Lauder Castle, or the old government house. Now, coming to old government house legacy, uh, this particular building, this was the facade, and I got this photograph from one of the university magazines. The University of Allahabad started in the Muir Central College started in 1872, but there was no funds and time to erect a building. So the classes initially started in this particular building in July of 1872 and continued till 1886. By 1886, this current campus was completed and the classes were shifted over there. However, the University of Allahabad Act was passed in 1887, hence it is called University of Allahabad, established 1887. Just after that, St. Mary's Convent had already started in Allahabad, precisely in Fafamau. So they wanted to relocate to the city. Earlier, they moved to Elgin Road, and then for a very short time, they moved to this particular building. And once they vacated, another interesting incident was observed. Indian National Congress had to hold their very important nationwide seminar. They were approaching the various venues for uh, for the organization, but every time the local administration was declining it due to some reason or the other. Thing was, they did not want it to be conducted at all. So, in order to resolve this situation, they approached Maharaja of Darbhanga, Raja Lakshmishwar Singh Bahadur, and he came forward with an idea. He purchased this whole property along with this Lauder Castle and renamed it as Darbhanga Castle. This was done with a very short at a very short notice, and Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya is to be credited for this. He was the one who initiated this idea. So the Congress seminar was held in 1888 and was a grand success. This is the current status of the building. During 1951, a government gazette notification uh, was released that this particular building should be given for the rehabilitation of the refugees from West and East Pakistan. Here you can find शरणार्थियों को फिर से बसाने के लिए. These are the pillars of the front porch that still exist. Currently, a number of families are staying in this complex with their own boundary walls and their own alterations. It is really a very sad state to see such a relevant building falling to such policies. This collage is for the comparison. You can spot the pillars. The front porch is not doesn't exist anymore, but you can spot the arches over here. This particular one relate to arch. This particular arch relates to this one. So you can identify the structure from a very specific places. One needs to go around the complete building in order to identify it. Going to new government's legacy, the medical college plan was finally implemented in the 1960s, and the government house was restructured according to Indian architects to become a presentable building for the medical college. I'll show you a map. Originally, the medical college was started over here. This was the district jail in Malacca area. It started over here, and then when this the government house was restructured, the medical college was relocated located over here, and the district jail complex was converted to Swaroop Rani Hospital. You can see these are some pictures. A sad thing that happened with this building was the landscaping. The trees were planted in such a manner that it covered the entire facade. Tried covering it, but as you can see, one can hardly recognize the building because it is covered with trees all over. If you compare it with this one, you cannot get this view anymore because of the trees aligned all over the front park. This comparison, when I went to medical college just to explore it, I showed this old photograph to the staff members present over there, and everyone declined having seen this structure ever. I told them that this is the same building, but they did not agree. Then I made them notice certain features: number of pillars in the porch, number of windows, like one, two, three, and then three windows, and you can spot the 3 plus 3 windows over here as well. This is the right wing of the main building. You can see, personally, I did not like the restructuring at all. This was the earlier structure was a majestic one, but the current one is just an ordinary building. Over here, you can see the number of pillars, the windows on the roof, and obviously the curvature of. All in all, the government house had very interesting history, but their prominence were diluted in the later years. The administrations, the governments did not do justice to these buildings. One thing that I've always mentioned, that whenever a heritage building is to be touched, the experts should be called in. What we have seen often is that the administrations just approach the local, like Nagar Nigam or the district administration's body, and their engineers do the work. And as a result, the structures had to face a very bad destiny, you can say. For this particular presentation, many people helped me. The primary ones being Mr. Shambhu Chopra, our convener of INTAC Allahabad chapter, Dr. Pallavi Chandel, she is the program coordinator, Mrs. Kavita Gupta, member of INTAC and a heritage enthusiast, and Akshat Lal Srivastav, a close friend and another heritage enthusiast from Allahabad Heritage Society. I would welcome questions now. Like Mrs. Kavita Gupta is asking, what is the pole-like structure? That is the flag post, and it can be found on major administrative buildings. Like you can spot the UK Britain flag on that. Something is also present on Allahabad High Court. Like Kunal that is asking, did Canning stay at the old government house from 1858 to January of 1859? Dr. Pallavi Chandel is suggesting, and I support that a citizen forum should be formed to conserve heritage buildings. One doesn't need only one need to identify the platforms through which they can approach the administration. Like in we have intact, we have Allahabad Heritage Society, and also a group of enthusiasts who are always ready to file RTIs, file PILs in order to save the heritage. Okay, Kunal has asked a nice question. How could the old government house be so brutally Indianized? Was there no law? Actually, after the independence, a law was passed to take the land of many Raj Gharanas, and their properties were used as per the government's whims and fancies. Some proved to be very fruitful, the other more or less disheartening. So this particular was taken from Maharaja of Darbhanga, and as I mentioned, by the Gazette notification, it was given to the rehabilitation center for East and West Pakistan. Uh, the people living in this building come from East Pakistan, that is the Bangladesh side. They came in 1949 or 50. Akshat is asking, Kavita ji is also asking something. Kavita ji is mentioning that tents were erected for parties within the campus. Like I mentioned, in both the government houses, there were huge and lavish gardens, and which were always properly mentioned. One can find their paintings and photographs. Akshat is asking to tell something more about the interior of the new government house. Some huge halls still exist, like any other unplanned structure. There are innumerable walls and mezzanine floors created in the halls, in the huge rooms, in order to utilize the area. But the some of the halls still exist in the new government house, that is Medical College. Akshat, Mr. Santosh Singh is asking for contact of Allahabad Heritage Society. Please acknowledge that. Okay, Mr. Ayush Kumar is asking when is the new government house building was built. According to the gazetteer, it was built in the central block already existed, but the extensions were made in 1869 after the south cantonment. Okay, Mr. Naresh Roy is telling us that some parts of the CAV were part of the old district jail. Maybe maybe we can take a tour of CAV once. Kunal, the old government house turned into a relation center. New government house was turned into a medical college, and like I mentioned, it all depends upon the government and the administration how sensitive they are towards the heritage. Also, at that particular time, during the rehabilitation time, the situation was such that they had to accommodate n number of people, n number of refugees. So they tried to identify the buildings as soon as possible. I cannot blame the government for ruining the heritage, that is the old government house, because need of the hour was something else. Ayush Kumar, I don't know when of the new government house was built. Neelam ma'am is asking if Lauder was a commissioner in the 1840s. Was the building built before 1857, and why was it named after Lauder? What was Lauder's eminence? As per my knowledge, Lauder was a commissioner and was commissioned in Allahabad for a short time. He did purchase this building. Uh, Sadly, I could not trace the history of this particular Lauder Castle, but it existed before 1857, and that is the reason they turned it into a government house. The Britishers were not in a position to erect a government house instantly after 1857, so they chose an existing building. Now someone may say that Lauder Castle is very far from, but if you look at the old map, there was nothing in between the stretch from Lauder Castle to Lauder Road. I'll show you something. Okay, this is the Darbhanga Castle, and over here you can see one building over here, but nothing over here in this stretch. And currently, there are, you can say, hundreds of houses over here. Yet asked to redesign the new government house for college. Which year was it done? It was done in Let me just check. I've noted it down. It was done somewhere around 62 and 63, 1962 and 63. Santosh Singh, any spot related to 1857? Uh, the Neem ka ped in Chowk is a witness to that massacre. Many Indians, नंबर ऑफ नीम का पेड़, काफ़ी नीम के पेड़ थे और उन सब पे फांसी दी गई थी इंडियंस को. वन ऑफ देम स्टिल एग्जिस्ट. Shambhuji is asking any idea as to what was the total area of the old government house? No, sir. I don't have any idea about it. You can say uh, the complete Darbhanga colony area was under the old government house. Okay. And like Pallavi ji replied to Santosh Singh's remark, many villages were there in the Cannington area, that is the civil lines area. Those were uh, those were razed to ground, and thousands of people were executed as these villages participated in the uprising of 1857. As a punishment, they executed most of the population over there. Two particular villages, I'm forgetting the name, relocated to some other area with the same name. Kunal Dutt, Nehru was still living, right? Uh, okay. Seven neem trees were there. Only one exists. Okay. Neelam ma'am is mentioning Samdabad and Khulda, two villages that were raised. There is slight discrepancy. Different opinions by Neelam ma'am, Kavita ji, and Akshat. Uh, I think Rasulpur and Samdabad were the two villages that were raised after 1857, and the people formed a new habitat with the same name. If you go to Company Bagh, on the St. Joseph side, you can find a dilapidated structure. In fact, you cannot even call a structure, remains of a structure that was actually a mosque, and Britishers cannoned it. The dome of the inverted dome still exists over there, and a gateway, and people still worship over there. There are few graves over there. Okay. Santosh Singh is asking about Christian cemetery. Yes, there are a few Christian cemeteries. One is the Keetgan Cemetery, which has graves from 1780s, I think, 1780s up to uh, the party. Many Britishers are buried over there, and also it is an ASI marked site. There is another in the New Cant, the Commonwealth War Graves. Okay. So I think we can wrap up. If there are any particular questions, then you may type them in. Okay, people, for joining. One question by Kunal Dutt from 1920s to 1960s. What was this used? It was used as government. I don't know particularly for what reason. Abhishek is asking how many heritage sites of Allahabad are recognized by ASI. A very handful of them. A very handful, like Khusru Bagh Fort, Victoria Memorial, Keatgun Cemetery, and maybe a couple of more. That is a very sad thing that major of the heritage sites are not recognized by the government. Some of the state recognized sites are also there. One of the state recognized site is Mayhall. Spots related to freedom movement, there are many. Complete Chowk area, the Alfred Park, the Civil Lines area, Keetganj, Muttiganj. Harpreet ji, any idea about architecture of old Hindu temples? Um I need to do a different session altogether for that. I'll the painting by Lady Canning. Where did you find it? It's present on the British Library website. The painting by Lady Canning is present on British Library website, and it has a very interesting cap. I'll end the session now. Thanks everyone for joining. Bye bye.